Hello, Senior Stoner fans. It's the real Senior Stoner back at you for your Ispire Daab, Diamond Dab of the day. Hello, everybody. Today is Tuesday. As always, thanks for joining me. If you enjoyed today's video, you know what to do. Join the family, send likes, and I respond to the comments. Did you know that most things we worry about will never happen? The catastrophic thoughts that I have every time I go into the surgical center for procedures that I'm not going to walk out. Obviously, I walked out. So I think what happens is everybody has fears. Everybody has things that from the minute they hear about they have to do it, to the minute after it's done, they've worried that it's going to go south. Maybe because people have had experiences with similar things that have gone bad. So what happens is people really lose control, and it's difficult to stop worrying. It's called GAD, generalized anxiety disorder, and it's a real problem. People with anxiety disorders understand that they have a propensity to worry, and they tend to focus on the fact that bad things can happen. People with GAD tend to encounter the same worries over and over and over and over and over again, thinking that the outcome will be worse every time. So there are plenty of anxiety reducing techniques out there, but this is different. This isn't a one-size-fits-all, hey, let's take a pill and stop being anxious. This is about how to stop thinking catastrophically. So it's a little different than curbing anxiety. It's curbing negative thinking, negative reasoning. Remember, human beings, our thoughts are trained to lead us to safety or survival. So when negative thoughts constantly arise, you may feel overwhelmed, you may feel lonely. And catastrophic thinking, known as catastrophizing, is truly irrational thinking. Now, there are hundreds, let's say, causes for catastrophizing, but repeated episodes of doing it can cause much more stress by keeping your body constantly in the flight, fight, or freeze environment. Chronic stress can lead to a variety of health problems. So if you're prone to catastrophic thoughts, you may have trouble coping with negative emotions in general. Kind of a cognitive distortion we have. Or if you want to look at it this way, a core belief that we have, that everything's going to go wrong. Well, guess what? We couldn't be further from the truth. It can be a very difficult mental habit to break, but there are ways we can train ourselves to stop catastrophic thinking. We can try mindfulness. That's right, we can focus on thoughts outside of our body and realize that the thoughts about the pain and about the catastrophic nature of your thinking about the pain really is incorrect. Cognitive behavioral therapy. Learn to recognize the triggers. The cognitive behavioral therapy really helps reduce symptoms in people that had PTSD, people that had fibromyalgia. It eased their fears. Journaling is another good way for people with a notebook, a pen, or even talking into an app. Keep track of your thought patterns. For example, oh my God, I thought I was going to really be the end of me today at the surgical center. I've been thinking about it for a month. I even said to Mrs. Stoner, and I slept all day from the anesthesia. But I said to Mrs. Stoner, you know what, honey? The weird thing about this whole thing with catastrophizing is you get so much time ahead of these things. So maybe what you do is look at it with another person. Say it out loud. I'm not kidding. I'm going to get fired. I used to fear being fired. I'm going to be fired. And I was the top salesman. I'm going to be fired. Then I was the boss. I'm going to be fired by the chairman of the board. I'm going to be fired. This is just the way I think and the way I thought. So what you got to do, I think, is challenge yourself every time that negative thought comes up in that cycle. And it's going to take practice, maybe even with a pregnant 1-minute pause. But you got to come back, even if you're uncomfortable saying it, saying that what you're observing, what you're hearing, what you're saying is incorrect. And that you know you're saying incorrect things. And that it's a shouting out based on the pain and based on the things you feel, not on the fact. You're verbalizing things that aren't happening. Well, even exercise can help if you're physically able to do some exercise. You see, it's all about reducing the symptoms of anxiety. It's all about finding ways for you to increase your resistance to catastrophic thought cycles. Anything you can do to move your mind and move your body into a better place will help you. This is not unusual. Tons and tons of us have GAD, and tons of us run through these issues in our lives. Remember, we're not alone. And here with me, you're never alone. Okay? Because we share our issues and solve our problems together. I want to thank those of you that reached out and wished me condolences on behalf of my friend. And I want to thank those of you who wished me luck on my procedure today. It takes a little time to see if it works. Thanks again for joining me. Have a great day out there. And here comes our diamond dab of the day. Remember, you have a choice. When things start to amp up and you start to worry and you're looking around and there's not a lot to worry about, but you're worrying anyway, think about it. Take a breath and try not to catastrophize. Cheers.